Episode 1 opens with Dorothy panicking, running around the house looking for Jericho. Sean is still testing his hand on the hob, completely unaware of what's happening around him, distilled by recent events that have hindered his senses. Leanne and Jericho have disappeared. Dorothy has rung the police unexpectedly, so Sean flicks into action and tidies up, taking the music box into the trash in the process, attempting to remove evidence of the baby, so no suspicions are raised. Dorothy plays news footage on cult leader May Markham, who is believed to be dead, as a journalist. She reported on it. She tells the police that May Markham stole her baby. The main issue is that the police believe that Dorothy is not well, which puts Sean in a strange position as he has to keep everything calm. The police know that Dorothy's baby died tragically, so it doesn't help the situation. Julian comes over with Natalie. Julian tells Sean that they have to protect themselves.
Dorothy upstairs.
Natalie tells Officer Reyes that they need to give Dorothy space and states that she's created an impenetrable bubble. It's fascinating seeing all the characters act normal and de-escalate the situation. The situation is now too deep. There's no return to normality for this group of people. Sean learns that May Markham was in their house after seeing photos provided by Julian. Natalie tells Sean that this is an opportunity to let Dorothy grieve because the baby was not their own, but Sean is passionate, claiming the baby was in their care.
He belongs here.
If you remember, in Season 1, Sean was the supportive figure for a traumatized Dorothy, but as we open into Season 2, Sean is slowly mirroring his partner. The next day, Dorothy finds a camera in the walls and tells Sean they've been watching us. She wants to make the neighborhood aware of what happened so they can gather information. She feels they have 35 hours left to find the baby. Dorothy has stopped being emotional and is being objective. Sean pretends to go outside and retrieve information from other people. Dorothy keeps investigating her journalism on the cult to see if she can track where Leanne went. Sean is getting irritable and asks Julian how they can find the cult and the baby.
He isn't exactly reliable.
Julian is his usual casual self. Nothing has changed with this character. He really is an outlier in a creepy story.
The fucking baby.
Later on in the night, Dorothy and Sean have a little squabble, and then Dorothy tells her partner that she thought he'd be a better father. It turns from a squabble to an explosive argument. Sean then raises the possibility that Jericho is dead, which shocks Dorothy.
What if he's dead?
She tells him that she'd join her son if that were true, bringing a dark close to their heated discussion. Dorothy sobs because 48 hours have passed and Sean comforts her. Like the previous season, this pressure cooker environment emanates from the characters. The stress feels incredibly natural. There's a knock on the door, and someone has left a package. Inside the package is a small baby shoe. There's also a letter that says, "Tell no one, baby lives." Outside, Julian drives off, suggesting that he left the letter and the baby shoe. As the episode ends, Sean's state of mind is truly put on the platform as he bathes the baby doll. He's rolling in the deep. Episode 2 opens with Julian waking up in the Turner household, and he sees a hole in the wall. He heads to the bathroom and water is running in the bath, so he turns the tap off. Downstairs, Dorothy is watching a video of her baby and Julian reassures her that Jericho will be okay. He never gets an answer on the taps. Did Dorothy run the bath? The doorbell rings and a package has arrived. It's a spacesuit costume for a baby. Julian tells her he ordered it weeks ago for the baptism. Julian comically dresses the baby doll in the spacesuit. The doll still gives the creeps. Its lifeless look is simple but effective. Dorothy continues to investigate the cult, watching YouTube videos of a man whipping himself, and May Markham giving him instructions. Sean is downstairs cooking, as usual, and there's a knock on the door. It's the personal investigator Roscoe that we thought may have died in the last season. He doesn't seem to have any concept of time, believing the baptism party was the night before. This escalates the story somewhat. It's been very level so far. Dorothy decides to return to work and fill in for a news anchor, which alarms Julian. After she leaves, Sean shows Julian the personal investigator in the basement. They are understandably confused. And then Roscoe is confused, realizing it is Friday, and he doesn't remember much apart from a lady in the street. They play audio that Roscoe recorded. He's crying and asking them to stop. Leanne is reassuring him. Julian believes Roscoe is playing games and has been brainwashed. Sean thinks they should call Natalie to help bring back his memories by hypnosis.
As you count down
Natalie puts Roscoe under hypnosis, and they begin asking him questions. He talks about a room with the lights off, and that his hands were tied. Roscoe then describes something rotten. Sean gets impatient and wants answers quickly.
No, he's fucking
Roscoe
not. Go
starts
back there.
saying
Who's
that the
behind
baby is
door?
crying and that he's holding him. He takes out the eyes and he throws them away. Julian suddenly cries and walks off. He's clearly distressed, but mostly because his belief system is challenged. Earlier in the chapter, Dorothy calls him an atheist. For Julian, this is challenging everything he stands for. On the news, Dorothy keeps handing out hints to Leanne while making her co-anchor uncomfortable.
This is the news.
Meanwhile, Julian is frustrated, trying to convince himself that Roscoe is performing.
We watching the same thing?
Natalie expresses that she wants to help Julian and wants him to believe in something.
Of missing
On live
teenagers,
television,
a cause
Sean
that is
watches
close to
Dorothy,
my own
who
heart.
begins talking about missing teenagers.
Leanne
She
Grayson
asks for
has
any
been
information
missing
on Leanne Grayson. When she returns home, she starts cleaning and Sean helps her out. Dorothy jokingly quips that work will not be inviting her back to the anchor desk anytime soon. Sean gets a call on his tablet. It's Leanne. She asks him why Dorothy is looking for her. Meanwhile, Dorothy is in the shower, and suddenly the water pipes aggressively creak, and cracks appear in the basement. Leanne asks Sean why he hasn't told Dorothy what she did. Sean looks at the front door, and the camera quickly zooms outside and faces the house.